All right, let us welcome back to the show, in my opinion, the biggest star of this past weekend from UFC Vegas 22. What a performance. Stops Gustavo Lopez in the third round, and now he's hoping to get right back in there May 15th in Houston at UFC 262, right in his backyard. Adrian Yanez joins us, coming off an incredible performance. How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm still on cloud nine from this, man. It was pretty cool, man. I just fought a tough opponent, and was able to put a really impressive performance and getting the stoppage. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really, really great.
Yeah, I mean, it's first of all, it's great to have you here. Congratulations on the win, but just everything you were just saying, like you were the freaking belle of the ball, man. I mean, you got the attention of the whole UFC roster. I mean, Teddy Atlas is tweeting about you, and pretty much anybody who's a fan of combat sports. Like, what has that all meant to you? Like, what have the last 48 or so hours been like for you?
Man, honestly, it's just been a lot to take in. Honestly, it's just been a lot. Like, especially like the Teddy Atlas. The Teddy Atlas one was the one that was getting me choked up, because me and my dad, my brother, and my family, we'd be sitting back watching boxing, and we'd hear Teddy Atlas all the time. So to me, like, getting the praises from Teddy Atlas to me is like it brought me back to like a good memory and good memories, because there's like a family pastime for us to sit down and watch some boxing. So, and we would just steadily just hear about Teddy Atlas, and just seeing his scorecards and everything. So to me, that was making me choke up a little. It made me feel really, really good to be like, man, Dad, I got Teddy Atlas commenting on my fight, saying how good of a fight this is. Like, I was saying that in my head, and I was like, man, I love it. It's amazing. So it's been cool. It's been really nice to get the notoriety from everybody. So it's really cool, man. And just on top of everything, man, it's like just to go out there and get a great performance like this, man, it's a cherry on top.
Yeah, because he didn't just give like one tweet. He was like live tweeting the whole fight. It was crazy.
Yeah, so that was the coolest part. I went back and had a screenshot the tweet. So I was like, man, I'm keeping this.
That's amazing, man. I mean, we talked after the debut. Obviously, that was memorable for you with the head kick KO in the first round. This one went to the third round, and you obviously remember, and you always will remember the UFC debut. But considering the opponent, the main card spot, him talking a little bit of greasiness ahead of the fight, the aftermath, the reaction from everybody, is this win like way sweeter than the debut?
Oh yeah, for me, absolutely. No disrespect to Victor or anything like that, but he did take it on a week's notice, and he's not like, I don't want to disparage him and his record or anything like that, but he did come from Alaska, from the Alaska MMA scene. And one thing about about MMA is that the Alaskan fight, the MMA community, or like the MMA scene out there, it's not really that big and not really that predominant. And it's one of those that's like kind of like it's not the best. It's not the best like scene. You don't see champions coming out of there very much. So a lot of people can go out there and be like exactly what Gustavo said. Who is he beat? Everybody's like, I think in the interview they're like, yeah, like he fought Victor Rodriguez, and he was like, who's that? And I was like, all right, I don't ever want to disparage anybody that goes in there because they deserve to be in there. They're fighters. So just to go in there and fight someone like the stature of Gustavo Lopez, he's coming out the Extreme Couture gym there in Vegas. So he was fighting at home. So all of it was leaning towards him in his favor. He's fighting at home. He has the big gym recognition and everything, and he's training with all those guys. And for me to go in there and stop all that to me was really, really cool.
I don't know if you were like a pro wrestling fan in like the late 90s, early 2000s, but like I remember, Kurt Angle had the three eyes. He always talked about the three eyes and intensity, intelligence. I forget the third one, but he had three eyes. But you went into this fight with like the three C's: calm, cool, and collected. I mean, you were just so relaxed, man. It was so noticeable. It was like you were going for a walk around the neighborhood, not getting in there for a potential 15-minute fight with another human being. Like, how would you describe like the hour, 30 minutes before the fight? Like, was it the same feeling, just super relaxed?
Yeah, I was just super relaxed. It was one of those things for me that I just knew what I had to do. I know like one of those things that I don't know if he was trying to rile me up or whatever, but none of that stuff like kind of really bothers me. Like, especially like the week of, he was talking mess, or like he was in other interviews, he was like, who is he fought? Like, he's like, who's this hype guy? I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna drown this guy and everything. I know he was trying to do that for hype reasons. To me, it just never really bothers me. And like I know, like one of the biggest things that helps me be calm is just one of those that, dude, this I love doing this. This is my dream. I every single time I go out there, like right before I walk out, and I'm just like, man, I'm about to go out there and like live my dream again. This is amazing. This is fun. Like I was like it's just one of those things that like, man, why would I be like nervous about living my dream? I was like, there's no fear in living dreams. So to me, I was like, dude, this is fun, dude. This is really really fun. I actually had to calm myself down from being like, dude, I'm about to go have some fun and everything. So I was like, yeah, cool, calm, collected. Let's go. It's still a little bit. It's still serious. So you still got to go out there and be calm. But even whenever I was in there, I was telling myself three C's, man, cool, calm, and collected. Right after that fight, because he was right in between rounds. I was telling myself, cool, calm, and collected, because I saw that he was like smiling at me, doing stuff here and there, and to the point where, man, I didn't even look him in his face during the fight. I was looking directly at his chest, and again, using my peripherals. I was like super zoned in. So it was just an hour and a half of me just being me, like before the fight. So it was just having fun.
On our post-fight show, a lot of people were talking about your performance, and I compared your striking. It was like watching a Peter Griffin fight on Family Guy, because every time you landed on him, it showed. Like a welt, a cut, a mark, some sort of discoloration. Like every single shot you landed meant something, and it showed something. Like I know you weren't really looking at his face, but at different points, were you looking at his face and realizing like every time I'm landing, it's showing?
I was looking. I saw like blood in the first round, and I wanted to tell him like, you're bleeding. Like I was like, hey, you're bleeding, but it never came out. I was just sitting there, it's like, oh, but no, I did notice like his nose was red. I saw that he started bleeding a little bit more like as the fight went on. They did a good job. I guess I don't know if it was a nosebleed or what it was, but he, like, yeah, I just really didn't. I really didn't pay attention too much to that. Honestly, I was just kind of just like throwing. I was like, I knew where I had to land. I was just using my peripherals, and I just see blood kind of come down every once in a while. But other than that, yeah, I just wasn't really looking at his face. Like, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that you compared it to a pretty Griffin fight, because like I just remember him just fighting that chicken every single time. They go at it for like a whole episode.
You dropped him in the second, and I mean, obviously you were fully in control at this point. You were wearing on him throughout the fight. Were you and your team, like, were you guys feeling confident between the second and third rounds on the stool that the end was near, that you were probably one more clean shot away from ending this thing?
No, we never really kind of like tell like, we kind of just don't like go finish them or anything like that. It's more of a keep doing what you're doing. If the shot presents itself, take it. And it was one of those things that my coaches, like, once I came back to the corner, he was like, all right, cool. Look, he's lost 2 rounds. He's going to come out. He's going to come out very aggressively. He's either going to want to come out very aggressively and start looking to wrestle you, try to take you down, because he's not winning the stand up. He's like, so just be wary that he's going to might take a shot, get more explosive, and try to come at you. So immediately when that round started, just took the center. So it was just one of those. It was just one of those that we just like the shot presented itself, and I just took it. So like I even told my coach in the corners, like, yeah, I'm starting to see everything that's coming, like everything. I'm starting to see his motions and everything. He's like, all right, cool. Like, if you see the shot, take it. But just be cautious, because he's going to start throwing to the wind. He's either going to look to knock you out or take you down, either one. So just be cautious. And that's exactly what happened. Like, came out there, it was pretty cool that it happened like when the beginning, like in 27 seconds. So that was pretty cool, and it was also a good read, because that's exactly what his corner was telling us. Like, you got a gun for the knockout. You got to start looking to take him down. You got to start doing something differently, because you're not fighting. So it was really cool. Like, we pretty much planned and prepared for that, and that's exactly what happened.
Best performance of your career?
Oh, absolutely. I think it was really flawless. But at the same time, like, I look and I have a black eye, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and judge myself really, really harshly, because I got touched up in the face a little bit. I got a little bit reckless in some cases, so I got to go back to the drawing board and fix and add those things in my game. So I would say in my UFC, yes, best performance, best performance, especially coming about like how tough the opponent was. You know, he went 15 minutes with Merab, and the guy that's the top 15. So to me, best performance hands down. But I'm judging really harshly on myself, so it's kind of hard for me to go up there and do that.
It's hard to even see the black eye, man. Like you can barely say, I didn't even notice until you said anything. I feel like Saul Solis is starting to get some more street cred these days, man. Like, which is crazy because he had a lot of it back in the day with like Tito and Rico and Rampage and those guys. But now seeing what you've been able to do as of late, we're starting to see his name come up a little bit more. He's been flying under the radar over the last several years. But what is it like for you to see him start to get some shine again in 2021?
Man, he tries to stay out of it. He tries to stay out of it, man. That's the thing, man. I tell him all the time, like, man, coach, like, you don't take credit for any of this stuff. Like he tells me all the stuff that he's done and everything, but he never goes out there and says it. I'm just like, man, I was like, whenever I get there, man, you're not gonna hide behind the camera, because he was in on her championship run. He was behind Chris Cyborg. He was training her for all those fights, but. You know, he was the MMA head coach, and you had Jason Perillo, the boxing coach, and all that stuff. So he was there for Chris Cyborg's title run and everything. So it was, so he had he's had some fighters up there now, but man, honestly, like, he just doesn't like to talk about it. Even in those embedded videos, I remember seeing a glimpse of him once in Brazil whenever he was there with Chris Cyborg. I was like, you could see him literally run out the shot. He doesn't want to be in the video or anything like that. So, man, he doesn't want to take the shine away from any of the fighters. But I tell him all the time, I was like, hey, you're gonna get it from me whether you like it or not. Like, I'm gonna make sure that people know who you are. You deserve this. I know you don't like it, but you to me have done so much for me. So I'm gonna make sure you get it back, and however I can, whether it's giving you credit or doing what I can. So. 100%. Like, I'm loving that he's getting the notoriety, especially Michael Bisping going out there and shouting him out. You know, I remember my coach Saul. Saul telling me about the time that he trained him for the Ultimate Fighter. So to me, I was like, man, that's big. That's huge. So it's pretty cool.
So after the fight, you're speaking with Paul Felder, and you basically say, like, hey, I want to get on that 262 card. It's in Houston, Full House on May 15th. That must have put a little extra pep in your step on Friday to find out that 262 was going to be in front of a big crowd in Houston, did it not?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I immediately knew what I wanted to say in the post fight interview. I wanted to say that for sure. I definitely wanted to get that. As soon as I saw that it came out, 262 is going to be May 15th in Houston Toyota Center. I was like, yeah, hell yeah. I know exactly what I'm saying right after my win. So I was going out there, like, I was planning out what I was going to say. Didn't come out the way I wanted to, but I definitely want to get on that card.
Yeah, you had a name in mind. You called out Nate Maness because he obviously called you up before, but he's obviously booked to fight Tony Gravely on April 17th. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe he can turn around quickly after that fight, but I would say probably unlikely if we're being honest. But listen, you're in this crazy division. There's a lot of 35ers who are really good that are looking for fights, man. At the end of the day, I'm sure it doesn't even matter. You just want to be on that card, right?
Oh yeah, I absolutely want to be on that card. I just had like a little back and forth with Nate just now before we got on.
Really?
Because I thought Twitter's complicated, man. I'm still learning the ropes. I'm not a social media guy. I'll tweet something here and again and just leave it at that. But I thought he did a little tweet and delete, and I go back and I saw something, and then like someone told us, like, I went back and someone added me at the thing. I was like, oh, he didn't. I saw what I did. They have tweets and tweet and replies, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. Like, I'm a super idiot. So yeah, I no shame in my game. I'm leaving everything up. I don't care. But I saw that he was like, he's down. He's down for a fight. So he even said, like, he's I don't know if he meant it towards my fight or like May 15th, but he said he signed the contract and ready to go, like, as soon as possible. So, man, maybe something happened. I don't know. Maybe that Tony Gravely fight didn't happen, because I told him, I was like, hey, like, I even said, it's like, well, people saying you already have a fight lined up. If you have a fight lined up, worry about that one first, then we can scrap after. That would be a good one. Honestly, the only reason why I really want to get that fight is just because he called me out, and back like in the real world, when someone calls you out, you got to answer it, or else you're kind of a scared kid. You're kind of scared. Not in those words, much worse, but so I'm just answering the call out. If he fights, and I just wanted to show him, hey, I'm calling you back out. So if anything goes differently, it's on you. It's not on me, because I'll sign that contract all day, every day. But if that fight isn't there for May 15th, I definitely will want to try to get that guy. It's a great fight. It's a great fight just because of the style matchup. You got that Davy Grant. I think he just had a spectacular knockout not too long ago. I saw some people saying his name. So, if that's a fight, that's a fight I'd like. He's coming off a big knockout. I'm coming off of two big knockouts in my UFC career. So I think that would be I think it would be a great fight. I think it would be a really great fight.
I was the initial conductor of that train for you and Davy Grant, but unfortunately when Davy fights, he breaks something in that fight, so he broke his foot. So that probably still there, but just everybody. But the beauty of my job is I do a bunch of different shows, and one of them is a matchmaking show where after these events, me and one of my colleagues, we jump on here the next day, and people give us ideas of who they want to see you fight. And the most popular name that has popped up thus far is Montel Jackson, who fought on the card. He got a quick knockout, and he's probably looking to turn around quick. And I got to tell you, just because I'm a fan of both of you guys, that fight, the idea of you two guys getting after it, that scratches me right where I itch, Adrian. I'm not going to lie. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
Man, honestly, any matchup, man. Honestly, any matchup. I don't care who it is. You can't run in the UFC. You can't run from anybody. You can't. You can't. Honestly, there's a lot of people that say you can cherry pick in the UFC. No, you can't. Everybody here's tough. So you really can't pick your next opponent. I'm down for anybody. Man, I said it like whenever my UFC career started, and I said anybody can and will get it. So man, hey, anybody can get it. Anybody can get it, man. Let's go. It doesn't matter who it is, man. Respect Montel Jackson. Respect to him. He some food accidentally got sent to our room, and it was his. So that was he's a cool guy. He's a real cool guy. So yeah. So anybody, man. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the division is just amazing right now because, I mean, what a busy week for the division and for, big events, because we found out that Dillashaw's coming back. He's fighting Corey Sandhagen May 8th. We still got the title fight rematch between Sterling and Jan to look forward to. Rob Font's fighting Cody Garbrandt May 22nd. Bantamweight's just cooking right now, man. I mean, these upcoming fights in your world will be exciting, but once you crack into the top 15, man, it's only going to get better and better, and the tests are going to get stiffer and stiffer. Like, when you think about the future, man, how excited are you for some of these matchups that you could potentially get?
Like, I said it once and I'll say it again, dude. It's a bunch of killers, man. It's a bunch of killers, and it excites me because this is really, really cool because we have a wave of new 35ers who are all tough killers, and we got a wave, and you have to separate yourself from that pack, and that's what I plan on doing. I want to be the killer of the killers, man. That's exactly what I'm trying to be. So seeing all those guys up there, it just excites me, man. I'm I want to get better. I want to get better, and it's so whenever I fight them, it's super easy for me. I know right now I can go up there and compete with those guys, but I want to be able to go up there and make sure they can't compete with me. That's my goal, and that's the biggest thing what I'm trying to do. So, man, it just excites me, and I just know I have so much more to improve, and whenever I improve, they're going to be in trouble.
How you mentioned we talked about the 3 C's in the octagon, and I'm curious how that translates outside of it, because it's got to be a very important thing to have when thinking about the future, staying calm, cool, collected. You're coming off a big win like this. Everyone's ready to throw you into the top 10, the top 5, give this guy a top 15 guy after 2 fights, and you take it if you got the chance. But how important is it just to maintain those 3 C's, enjoy the ride, move up the ranks, kind of maintain that composure through all this hype that you've rightfully earned?
Man, I just see what's already been done before me. I can go back and name a lot of great names. You got Max Holloway. Look how long it took for him to get into the top 15 to even get a title shot. Tony Ferguson's another one of those guys. Look how long it took for him just to get up there and get to a title shot. Stipe Miocic, look how long it took for him to work to get up to a title shot. Look at Dustin Poirier to like finally be like the guy. It took them such a long time. Like in Donald Cerrone, like there's a lot of examples of like fighters, like, not that Donald Cerrone took his time. He fought anybody on any given week, but like, look how long it took for a lot of these fighters, to get to the position they're at. So like, it's just one of those things that if they rush me, they rush me. But if not, I don't mind being a workhorse. There's a lot of fights there. There's a lot of opportunities. So there's never going to be like a need for me to have to get a fight at the top 15. In the position that I'm at right now, I can easily like fight somebody in the top 25 and the next fight get a top 15 guy, or I can fight a top 50 guy, who's still a really good killer. And next thing you know, I'm fighting a top 40, top 30, top 25, then top 20, then top 15 if it takes me that long. So to me, it's just, like, I just take it as it comes, man. If it's gonna come faster, or if it's gonna take its time, I don't care. Like, it's one of those things that I take it as it comes.
Just keep getting those bonuses, man. Then it doesn't matter.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's another reason why I'm like, hey, keep me fighting at the end for sure. It's gonna get tough to get at the top.
50 G's, man. What are we gonna do with this bonus?
Saving it, man. That's my biggest thing,
man.
That's my biggest thing. I don't want to become another 30. I don't want to be a 30 for 30 man. That's the biggest thing. And I want to save it. I want to invest it. I don't want, like, after this is all said and done, I don't want to have to work. And also I don't want to have to fight for money. I want to be able to fight for fun. Like, that's the thing, so just imagine me. There's no stress on me right now with work. Like, no stress on me right now with work. I can go out there, fight freely, because I don't have to worry about, like, man, if he checks one of my kicks, I'm limping for 2 or 3 weeks. My job is going to be a lot harder and this and that. But now, me not having to worry about money, going out there, like, man, I can go out there and just go nuts. I can go nuts. So that's where I want to get to, man. That's exactly where I want to get to, because I love fighting, man. I love the sport. I love martial arts, and if I don't have to worry about money, you're gonna seeing me start throwing a little bit crazier.
Last thing. What will fighting at Toyota Center mean to you? I mean, I've talked to like tons of fighters who get to fight in their hometown, and it's like a dream of theirs. Fighters talk about MSG all the time. What will fighting at Toyota Center mean to you?
Man, it would mean like a lot, man. This is where I started. Houston is where I had my first fight. Like, Houston's where I've had like a lot of ups and downs. It's like it's to me, it's home, and it's man, it'd be just crazy that I would be able to fight at the Toyota Center, because, man, I would be telling my dad almost every single time he took me to go train. Like, we'd be exiting and hitting the exit on Scott on 45. Interstate 45, we'd be going down, and we'd take an exit at Scott. And whenever we take that exit, you see directly straight across, you see the Toyota Center. And I'd always be telling my dad, like, one day I want to fight there. Like, I want to fight there in the UFC. And my dad looked at me as like, in due time, you stay consistent, keep doing what you're doing, and you'll be there. Like, I believe in you. So, like, to me, it's just one of those things that, like, it would mean a lot. It would mean more to me than like just fighting anywhere else. Because that's one thing that I've told my dad, like, I'm gonna fight there. So another promise to keep, man. I gotta go out there. Hopefully I get it. I really want to fight May 15th.
It's a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer in my mind. I mean, I don't make the matchups, but this is a no-brainer for me. But
yeah, you gotta get me, Derek Lewis, Daniel Pineda on there. You gotta get Alex Morano on there. You gotta get a lot of these Houston guys on there, man.
Completely agree. But especially after that phenomenal performance, like I said, this is a no-brainer. But you were the star of the night. Congratulations. Hopefully you get what you want. You get on that 262 card in Houston. But in the meantime, enjoy the win. I don't even see a black eye, but I guess take care of that kind of phantom black eye that I don't see. But we'll talk soon, man.
All right, for sure, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the platform.
Awesome. Thanks, man.